Fine, that's not it.
See.
Hello?
Hey. Can you hear me? Can you
I
see
can
me? Do I
hear
look
you, but I
halfway
can't see
normal?
you. I'm looking at your lights.
Pardon me? Oh,
I'm looking
girl,
at your
what you
lights. I
call?
can't see you, baby.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to beautify myself. Hold on.
All right, we all do it. That's what my stuff look like.
Here we go. Hold
Oh,
on.
and you got a. Oh, I got a mirror too. We sexy. Oh, he's turning? He's turning. He's turning.
Here we go. Here we go.
No, we're not there yet.
It's gonna happen. Here we go.
There it is. I see chesticles in my face. Hey.
Hey, can you see me?
Yeah, I see you. Hey,
Yeah.
man.
So what is up? How you doing, miss?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Life is good. I'm happy to be here. Glad to be here. Feeling blessed, highly favored. You know what I mean? This
Yeah.
right here, I do these every now and again. They've been happening a little more lately, you know. This
Wait.
one right here means a lot. Like all jokes aside.
What? Like
What?
being here on this show, or just being alive?
Listen, I'm with all of that. But this show, your efforts, your platform, what it endeavors to accomplish and does accomplish, who it endeavors to highlight, and the fact that it lifts up everybody, if you know, like I know. I
Yes.
really applaud you. Real talk.
Thank you. Thank you for even just joining me. I appreciate you coming on. I know last week I had a little snafu, so I'm glad you're here with me today. I've been following you. I love what you do. I love your videos. Your videos are so fun.
Appreciate that.
They're so fun and they're so educational. Like I feel like you can learn something from everyone, and I'm definitely learning a lot from you,
The cool thing about the gram right now, and I know, to some people this may sound crazy, but if you aren't educating, informing, entertaining, or inspiring, you got to go. Now, some people are inspired by some whole other stuff,
Right.
but content now is evolving to where you've got to bring something. People want to know, what's in it for me in here. So it's giving an opportunity to make more real, lasting connections and get to a good place, I guess.
I know you're right. There's somebody on here, and when people like ask you for help, I'm one of those persons who's like, all right, I'm gonna help you, but like I'm just gonna get to the point. I don't like all the fluff. Like I'm gonna get to the point. Okay, so all that other stuff, I don't need none of that. All right, I don't care about the man is trying to hold you down. Content creation is really about algorithm. It's about numbers. It's about your content. This is one of the places where people, I feel, of all races and nationalities can really thrive on social media because, out in the real world, you do have people who try to gatekeep things. But on social media, it's really studying the system, creating your content, and learning your group. And people just put stuff out there like, I'm about to go viral. And it's like, that's not how that works at all, fam.
You got to drive everyone, leverage everyone. And you know what? It feels good to hear somebody that's walking the walk say so. It's like, I don't know who needs to hear this, but the algorithm is the reason that you got 2 views.
Yeah.
Because the people with 2.1 million followers get 100 views. Why? Because they post something that is not geared toward their demo. And what do? That's different from, maybe some of us who had some trouble. They download and update. All right, what did I not do here? What are my people saying here? It's like, as scary as it is, the data that is out there really will tell you a lot.
Yes.
And it's a tool. Les Brown is a motivational speaker, black man, Florida radio kind of giant. And you can walk over here. Sorry, my lovely lady trying to get out of
I know, I
doors,
saw her in the
and through the
background trying to
patio
make herself
vibe. And
small.
I'm like,
girl, walk
she's
strong.
trying to squeeze through this tiny. Go ahead, mama. Thank you. There you go. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
The Les Brown, he is in his late 70s, been in the radio game for forever, and he was on the Breakfast Club talking about kind of the power of data, and there's a lot of ways to use it for good.
That's smart. That's well, we jumped right into it. We ain't give no
I'm the
introduction.
worst. I'm sorry.
No. I like that. That's how I know it's about to be a good show. When you just start going in on the beginning, it's like, this is about to be fire.
Let me let you run your show.
So I'm known to jack up people's, usernames. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump for it. Is it the Thebarrelage or the Thebarrelage?
There's a lesson in that. It's at the Thebarrelage.
At the Thebarrelage, okay. Wait, I want to know, what's the lesson? I want to learn that lesson.
Well, the lesson there is I came up with that handle, let's say, I think 2014, 2015, and it was kind of just poking, celebrating the cocktail revolution on the one hand, celebrating the renaissance of craft beer, celebrating the kind of continuing kind of supremacy of wine, and also making fun of every single person in those fields because if you know, like I know, there's so many products that they think just because they put it in a barrel, it translates to quality,
Right.
Barely became a way to sell things for more money. Also, everybody is kind of drinking more thoughtfully, and things in a barrel usually are those kind of noble spirits. The lesson is, had I had it to do over again, I may have had that something that was more easily recognizable upon first hit, because when we're out here and we're trying to be in front of people's faces, we got 15 seconds or less.
Right.
They see our handle, they see our name. You don't jack up names. We have jacked up names because anybody should be able to get it like that, like that, like that.
I try my hardest too, man.
You're doing well. It's the kind of marketing and the kind of okay, if 100 people look at this, what are most of them going to say? That's the right answer.
Okay, that's smart. Okay. So I don't want to call you the Barrelage the whole time. What is your name?
Oh, sorry. That would help. My name is Khalid Williams. I'm Khalid.
Khalid.
AKA Khalid Ali Cool Kid, BKA Cool Cat. We could do that if you want to.
Get it.
Grandma called me Khalid. Some of my Italian family calls me Khalid, so I answer to any of them.
It's college. I'm sorry, one more time.
Khalid.
Because I want to call you DJ Khaled.
Well, working in restaurants, you already know the vibes. You already know the vibes. Every person behind the line in the kitchen, that is my nickname. When I don't even correct them, that's what it is.
I was like, DJ Khaled. He done messed it up for everybody, like, all the time. That's always going to be how you say it.
Shout out to Khalid, though, R&B cat, young boy.
Oh.
You love the way your love lies.
Oh, that's him?
Yeah, Khalid. And he pronounces it that way. And I doggone sure put him as my Twitter avatar when he was popping and just let my mentions roll in.
Oh my gosh. That song was hot too.
Right. One of the young gunners.
So, how long have you been in the industry? How did you even get started?
Got started in the industry. I'm always trying to keep it brief. I'm gonna fail sometimes. Let's give you the elevator pitch.
Go long. We got an hour, baby. Drag that bullshit out.
Go. Let's stretch out. I'm 18 years old. I am gaining a major in raving, a master's in hanging out in the parking lot of concerts, and my doctorate in Wu-Tang lyrics. Like, that's my job, period. Reading, doing what people did at raves, and going to concerts and being surprised when I actually had to pay to get in. Went to college for a semester, got 0.0, came home, and soon found out that I had a child on the way. And oh yeah, my lovely father, he was like, a job really would fit this situation so beautifully. Like, child, man, work, money. And he was like, Macaroni Grill is hiring. Shout out Macaroni Grill. They're all over the South. I credit them with my wine knowledge to this day and to my relationship because I've met my mate there, but that's another story. Yeah, we arguing over a table. Ain't that nothing? She said, "Why did you double seat me?" I said, well, I did. What would you like to do about it? She actually had an answer. I said, oh. Anyway,
I like her.
my father was like, they're hiring. And I remember I was listening to music. I was like, okay, yeah, yeah, cool, we'll go. And I remember putting the headphones back on. I started vibing. I felt that headphone come up off my ear. My father said, put on a shirt with buttons, put on the tie, and get in the car. You going to apply for this job now. Because I wasn't going had he not done that. Started as a host, working a little to-go area. Remember the first time I got wrecked with I forgot to put in 7 orders and had 9 really angry suburban people in my face wondering where their food for their angry spoiled children was.
Do they want to speak to the manager?
All of that, all very that. The cooks is mad because I'm ringing stuff, and it's an open kitchen too. So people here, cooks here, none of them like me. But I have one of those, and it usually kind of inspires something in you. It's like, nah, not tomorrow, not next Friday. I'm about to kill this, and got my sea legs under me. One day started serving, and really took to that. Kind of found that I was able to connect with people simply because of our commonalities of need, I would say. We all want to have a nice meal. We all want to have a good time and a good joke.
Right.
And no matter who we are, where we come from. And I've kind of always been able to connect with people. And when I was really busy or in the shit, or if I forgot to ring something in, the hospitality piece, I found I just took to it. Macaroni Grill, God bless them. If anybody hasn't heard of it, think Olive Garden. That at one point it was fast casual Italian where everything was homemade.
Are they still open where you're
at? They
okay.
got them in Vegas. Me and my girl, we say that we going up in there with the uniform on and we just gonna start working. And I promise you, when I promise you, if I know anything, I know we will complete that shift. Somebody will go home.
Macaroni Grill, you got some people who want to come get some shifts.
That's right. We just wanted, because it's that kind of service industry thing of somebody always want to work, somebody always want to go home,
Right.
But
yeah.
It was that classic place, and I'm like, if we walk up in there, we would get through at least ringing in some food before anybody questioned what was going on. But they had a great long wine list as well, a progressive wine list that I still to this day kind of refer to. The wine goes from lightest to full body. And they use the milk analogy from
share the milk analogy because I want to learn that.
Oh yeah. So the analogy is when we're dealing with wine, white and red, in general. If you're taking white, Sauvignon Blanc, then Riesling, then Moscato, then Pinot Grigio, then Chardonnay, then Viognier. For the most part, and what we're doing is going up in body, and body is just the viscosity, the thickness, the richness. That Sauvignon, that zippy Sancerre or Sauvignon Blanc, light, bouncy, shimmery, almost feels effervescent. Champagne is feather light. When you get into those Napa Chardonnays, those Monterey Chardonnays, they're extracted, very oaky, very Werther's original caramel. They're big, and you feel it on your mouth. Pinot Noir, bouncy, jumpy, light. Merlot, kind of medium-bodied. Malbec, medium-bodied. Cabernet, big, bold, round. So kind of using that analogy, I learned that in 2003. And it kind of has always helped me categorize, find new wines, and suggest new wines, wine was definitely my first love for sure.
That's good to know. It can be hard trying to learn the differences in the wines and also how to offer and describe wines using, the descriptions.
Yeah, so wine language is a entire patriarchy and colony all its own. Okay, even old world and new world. They got Chinese wine. Somebody said, "Oh, is that going to be considered a new world region?" You get what I'm saying? South Africa is considered new world.
Yes.
Anyway, the terms that are used, you really wine is, I guess, the definition of pretense. I don't want to call it pretentious, but it's like, if you know, you know. Cassis, black currant, tobacco, chocolate, leather. Well, what if I don't know what those things taste or smell like, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, hay, hyacinth. Like, come on, man. The flowery adjectives. I started, I, much later, I was at a nice wine bar. This wine right here, all Honey Nut Cheerios, straight up. And seven people would smell it. They'd be like, "Yeah, damn right." Um, After leaving Macaroni Grill, I was there. I was there 5 years. Another, I will say, that one of the biggest mistakes I ever made in the industry was staying there that long. I'm free game throughout all this. I'm dropping all the game I can.
Right. And why do you feel like that was a mistake?
It was a mistake because I believe, at the very least, if you deign to take traditional employment, it needs to be somehow time based.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna work at even if that's just in your made, it needs to probably just be in your mind. Don't tell anybody this. But I'm going to work here for just a year, and then we are going to reevaluate, going to set new terms, and going to see how I fit in or fit out of this company.
Yes.
As a black man, family mostly from the South, a touch from the Caribbean, deep, deep, deep culture. Okay. My grandmother hummed is how I explain it to people. You get what I'm saying? Um, Being from that, we tend to get told, don't leave that job. You there,
Yes.
you making your money, ain't nobody bothering you, don't go nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel you, because for my mother, when she left a job and she got cornered in the copy room, right?
Right.
No recourse.
Mm-hmm.
Because she went through that, um, I was blessed with some more options, and we got a lot more work to do. Like you said, digitally and etc. There's so many more options to get on our grind and get on our hustle. Had I left at 2 years, or went part time at 2 years, or diversified, because I was young gunning and doing my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting a little bit of name, and I could have gone elsewhere. But being the big dog somewhere, we get caught up in that. That's number
Mm-hmm.
one.
Mm-hmm.
I was the man, 100 grand in that place. And that status meant too much to me at the time. And, just feeling like tenure was a currency. We now are getting in life that our tenure, our portfolio, ain't no pension. You and I probably will not be getting no pension from nowhere, right?
Nope. Nope.
They bank account ain't set up like that. Some of the people think they getting them, not getting them. Another episode. Um, but what we are able to have is what we build ourselves, and our tenure working with and for whoever we work for, be that for a year, a day, a week, or an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So be nimble in your out. My advice to any message to a young bartender: be nimble, keep it moving,
Absolutely.
make your company hold to a standard, and let them hold you to a standard. That's the other thing. I stayed at places too long because I knew any day now, if they wanted to, my ass would be gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't in the right type of frame of mind and shape to get my best. So I got somewhere and just got in the cut and floundered.
Right.
Um, you get somewhere new, you ain't no floundering there. You'll be out of there as soon as you got in there. So
And it also, but you get comfortable, right? Because when you're at the same place, you know everything in and out. You get to a new place, you got to learn new food, you got to learn a way how to do things, and it can kind of just really, hey, Lonnie, it can really just throw you
Lonnie,
off,
what's good, Savannah? Stand up.
right? So
Um,
yes, you are absolutely correct. Keep going back.
After leaving Macaroni Grill, I went to a fine dining place. It was the age of the big old tomahawk steaks and shrimp cocktail and the lobster.
Mm,
Um, People drinking Cabernet with oysters just because it was the most expensive bottle. Just kind of the ostentatious, kind of big showy, like it was before the housing market did what it wanted to do.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
There, I'll never forget. It was our first meeting about wine, and they asked me what was I going to taste. because they weren't going to have no Hennessy or no Kool-Aid, right? That was
No.
at my first wine meeting. And at the time, I was like, nobody in the room looks like me, right? And then I remember tasting the Chardonnay. Oh, it's kind of creamy. And everybody's laughing, creamy. It's not, nah, creamy. But the man that was leading the class said, he's absolutely right. And the gentleman who was running the class, the people I was working with were ignorant as hell about wine, knew less than I did, but I thought I knew less than they did. And being in an environment that was oppressive, it was an oppressive, nasty restaurant where the currency was not necessarily money. It was psychoactives and flesh. There's a lot of places like that where it gets dark, right?
Right.
But I loved it at the time because it was quick money, and I did my thing. I was, working in the front, working in the back, and I don't mean cooking. I thought I was the man. That led to just years of me. I was bartending. I learned how to make a mean martini in Manhattan there. It was that kind of bar. I served a drink to an older gentleman, and he said, "You made this?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Go get the bottles you made this with and bring them here." I said, "Sir, is there some?" He said, "Go get them bottles and bring them over here." And he literally just showed me the sauce, like slowly. It was an older gentleman who probably had been mixing them at his house in the 60s. And he just really kind of showed me the blueprint and taking a little more time kind of to craft the beverage and how to stir and how to know when it's really chilled and a nice kind of tight pour. And,
So walk me through this. Walk me through the secret to a mean martini real quick.
So the secrets of a mean martini. Number one, if you get the vermouth from the rail on the bar and it wasn't put there at the beginning of the shift, crack a new bottle of vermouth. We got to stop this vermouth abuse, right?
Yes.
People think
Yes.
they don't like it, and it's because we, as bartenders, didn't keep it right. Straight up.
What are you supposed to do with your vermouth? Where are you supposed to keep it?
I'm sorry, I missed that. What'd you say, Dan?
Sorry, where are you supposed to keep your vermouth?
Refrigerator.
Bam.
Keep that thing in the fridge, and I suggest restaurants buy a smaller bottle. Buy a that 375 bottle, right? It may cost a little more, but you won't throw any out. Or if you buy a big bottle, do this with wine as well. When you have less of it left, put it in a smaller bottle. The less kind of room for oxygen you have, the fresher it'll be. So keep that vermouth in the fridge. Know your gin. A martini is made. This argument, you see me twitching. A martini is whatever you want it to be, but a classic martini is 5 parts gin to 1 part vermouth and 2 dashes of orange bitters. Most people do not like the bitters. I think they're a cheat code. Those 2 dashes of orange bitters open up the drink. You can also play with like a dab, like the smallest dab of Cointreau or like Napoleon or a light kind of orange liqueur. But that ratio of gin to vermouth, stirred until your fingers sting just a bit. Whenever I'm making like a martini or like a slow stirred drink, I tell my guests it's got to cook for a minute. And when I'm busy in the bar and I ain't got time, I don't even stir it, but it hangs out for 3 minutes, right? Or 2 minutes. I've been dorky enough to test like levels of like dilution and all that nonsense. But yeah, vermouth, go slow, stir till it stings. 1, 2, 3.
Go slow. Stir to it stings.
There you go. Martini game will be up.
I see. I love this. All right, keep going because that's why I like going down your journey. Because each time we keep going, it's just like, ooh, that sounds interesting. Let's explore that. But keep taking me there, baby. Let's keep driving.
We got a lot of destinations and a few rest stops and a few Fleabag motels.
And I'm here for it. I got my wine. I've used the bathroom. I'm ready to roll.
I know. That's right. I got my wine somewhere here. I'm gonna grab me a glass soon. No, I'm good, babe. I'll wait. I got a good lady. Sorry, she's right here.
That's okay. Hi, good lady.
She was like, "You want a glass?" I'm like, "No, I'm good." Anyway, she says hi. So I'm working kind of almost Anthony Bourdain called it a mercenary. Serving at places at a high level for high compensation. a wine bar here, an outside bar there. But I'm starting to kind of, build the community and, hang out. I was a restaurant lifer at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm what you consider a townie. I was living right near where I grew up, went to high school, etc. Bounced around a little bit, but because of having a child early, that kind of moored me to, my kind of area of origin, which is a blessing. But just enjoyed making money. Um, it wasn't a bill I couldn't pay in a weekend's worth of work. So literally, if my lights got cut off on Monday and I had to pay $250 for them to turn them back on Tuesday, whatever, I'll work an extra shift.
Mm-hmm.
Work hard, play hard. Um, Wine, beer, and spirits while I was at work kind of just got me thinking. I just remember tasting wine and thinking, seeing two gins and thinking, seeing the whole wall of whiskey and thinking. Okay, this would say this one gotta eat, that one ain't gotta eat. This one says straight, this one says bonded. Why the whiskey gotta get bonded out? What does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just it started me just contemplating, and I never stopped, and just tasting products and tasting wine at different out. I'm talking about just garbage Tuesday lunch shifts at a bar. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Um, Tasting wine on Monday, tasting on Tuesday, making three different martinis, asking someone about what wood does to a cocktail and having them give me three different Chardonnays and then a silver, a Repo, and then an Añejo tequila. I remember little like post shift moments like this where I
Mm-hmm.
like some of the things that are in the training materials that I am lucky enough to be able to earn my bread doing happened on a Tuesday lunch where I made $7, or a closing shift where the soda machine bags bust and we had to clean them up till 3 in the morning. Just learning these cool little tricks of the trade from people who had been in the business for a long time. The other thing I could say I've excelled at is knowing that I don't know everything, um, knowing that there's absolutely more I need to learn. So I always was willing to listen to the people who were in the business kind of before I was. The person, when you start working at a restaurant, they look at you like you short.
Yeah.
Um, Back when they didn't learn your name for like a good couple of weeks because like we don't know if people stay here or not.
Right. Right.
That's the cloth I'm cut from. Um, and that also kind of formed my advocacy because when I was like 18, 19, dorky and chubby and dorky, pretty much the same thing I am now, but I wasn't confident about it. Um, the the kind of clique of females where I worked, they kind of took me under their wing and they would bring me out and they would help me at work. And every job, let's face it, the females that are working there are always doing a job and a half. That's just the way it is. And usually getting paid three-quarters. I said it.
Ooh,
You know,
International Women's
Not all right, all month long, baby.
Month.
Um, but seeing a time when things were a lot more problematic, but being with ladies with that personality to say, back the fuck up and don't talk to me like that. Seeing at a fine dining place a woman say that across the bar and the regulars at the bar be like, yeah, don't talk to her like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I was lucky because public service announcement, everybody wasn't lucky to see the good examples, but I was lucky enough to see good examples of behavior of people that were partying, that were shucking and jiving,
Mm-hmm.
but you had to have a ticket to whatever the party was, right? You had to have a ticket. If you didn't want to be in the party, nobody would make you attend. And
Mm-hmm.
that just kind of that consent based living, no matter what it is, that kind of came from the service industry for me. Um, I did my thing similarly, just kind of working at places, learning, partying way too much until about 2012 when I slowed way down, like pumped the brakes after I lost 4 jobs in 1 month at
Damn.
one point. Oh yeah.
Half a party?
And yeah, 4 jobs in 1 month in the service industry and I have the owner looking at me like, dude, I love you. You've been late 17 times.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I love you. You keep on not showing. Like person that fired me was just like confused. You know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
it was after 7 last chances and 3 warnings, and um, 2012. Just I got some wake up calls and got my head on straight. The Without going too deep into it because I still got to sell a book.
Right.
You know, the American system of jurisprudence, we'll call it, kind of helped me realize some things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Lady Justice, she's blind but she winks. Um,
Ooh.
yeah, man. Getting through that, having to kind of change my entire friend group, and I started working at a craft beer bar in 2012. And between 2010 and 2012, in my area in Connecticut, I'm from Hartford County, Connecticut, born in New Haven, 203 to the 860. Shout out. They say we don't support where we're from. I'm a Connecticut boy, born and bred, and I love it. Um, Here, those were the years that people started thinking about what they were drinking. You can call it craft, you can call it high end. I just call it thoughtful.
Mm-hmm.
People wanted to know where the beer was from. They wanted to know the vintage of the wine, and if they had others from that year or from that region. They wanted to know what kind of what your brown spirits were, and if you knew Mashville. And the place was a gas. It was the whole gastropub thing, duct work out, exposed ceiling. The places now that they literally look like they sell them on Amazon. The farm look, the exposed wood, the duct work, etc. The big beams. Please don't look at my house because that's what I got here. But
Totally
that
looking
that
now.
kind of edgy look, it was like when it was first happening. It was like, wow, I'm used to having to wear a tie when I work. I could wear I wear some Jordans and a t-shirt. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
um, I was able to kind of mix self-expression with cocktails and really start experimenting with flavor. It was kind of high time. All the reps at that point were sent out into the field with samples to burn, money to burn. It just everybody was all in on craft cocktailing, craft beer, and wine. Um, Not everybody was in on doing it profitably.
Right.
So you had a lot of drinks that were grand, but they didn't make sense. Or, what I heard for years, people were like, oh, we only come when you're here. The cocktails are so much better.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that means I sucked at my job at manager because
Oh.
I didn't get everybody to learn that shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Everybody should be the same cocktail, no matter who you get it from.
There you go. And if we can't do it, I don't need to have it. And the next cocktail that is one step less, that's the best cocktail I can make.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But people at the point we were basking in it. I was one of them. Um, I had spirits behind the bar that only I knew what they were, and guests that only asked me for them. Just imagine you was serving. They're like, Covey knows, he knows what I like. And I'm like, oh yeah, yeah. And you don't tell the person what it is and don't empower them. I lived that life for a little while. But I started working with a lot of younger people. And I
Mm-hmm.
was working with this younger girl behind the bar, and she didn't really know her thing. And I come in, and the beer menu's not updated, and this isn't pulled, and that isn't stopped, and my life is gonna end, right? Because 3 or 4 bottles aren't moved to the left or to the right.
Right.
And I remember pulling the whole like I'm gonna just passive aggressively put things away, laugh and sigh at every turn, right? Um, I was there early for my shift, and the girl was just working lunch, and I was like, huh, why would we have this? Of course, we don't have that. And then I look up, and the girl's in tears.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? And I'm thinking I'm the cool kid being snarky. This girl trying to work her little lunch shift.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
got
There's a lot of
class
people
at
like
five.
that.
She got class at 5 o'clock. She got to
Mm-hmm.
get her baby at 4:30.
Mm-hmm.
It really kind of pulled my head directly out of my own ass and really made kind of advocacy, openness, being universal, and being a teacher at all times. In a
I'll ask your sorry. So Renisha, one, she's from Connecticut. She shouted you out 860.
What up, Renisha? Yes, that's right, baby. Hartford all day.
And
Um,
so she's actually getting started newly in the industry. And one of the things you brought up was this young girl who she's just trying to make it. And so Miss Grice is in the same situation. What are a couple, just give her a couple cocktails that she should know how to make? Like her base cocktails.
Get your daiquiri game up. Get your daiquiri game, get your old-fashioned game.
And when you're
Quick
saying
ingredients.
daiquiri, you're not talking about the frozen kind. You're
There
talking
you go.
about...
I'm talking about the perfection of 2 ounces of rum, a half to 3/4 of an ounce lime juice, and a half to 3/4 of an ounce simple syrup, and whatever prefer. And you know what, Renisha, tag me and hit me, because there's this experiment called the three bears of cocktails, and you take the daiquiri, you take the old fashioned, you make 3 different versions of the same thing, and you taste them. It's real simple, and it kind of teaches you variance. Hit me up, I got you.
So I want to say the 7 pillars of cocktails from Tales of Cocktails, a good start too.
Oh, nice. 7 pillars. I love that. Pillars. I like that talk. But yeah, I tell people the old fashioned and the daiquiri are 2 cocktails that are great for learning flavor, great for learning how delicate flavor is, great for learning how much you can play with flavor. You really get to do some alchemy in a glass over a quarter of an ounce of or a spoonful. You can change somebody's life one way or the other. And they're both cocktails that you literally, I teach all the time, and I tell people, all right, I've probably made on menus in my life 300 to 500 cocktails, and there's people out there that's done 5,000, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We probably made 10 cocktails in our life, but just variations thereof. So that 7 pillars, anything that's a bottom-up approach, kind of, pyramid approach to cocktailing, I'm always for. Don't learn the specific drink, learn the style.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the daiquiri and the old fashioned are kind of market makers, are kind of category starters. That's where I start. But hit me up. Anything I can do to help you, I will.
Awesome. Nice. Thank you so much. Okay. Keep going. I like it. Keep going.
Right. And see, right there, that's the job. That's the gig. The next generation coming past, kind of helping them. In my career, the kind of 2010s, it's high times for crafting, and I'm just doing my thing, managing bars. I'm lucky enough to start getting a little bit of press, getting a free bottle. Brands are even giving me free bottles and glassware.
Ooh.
Yeah, glassware that has their brand on it that I'm going to use, and people are going to see and buy their brand because of it. Oh shit, people should get paid for that. But I was just happy. I was so happy to make these people money. I was so happy to go to their events, and I still am, by the way. But the terms have changed.
Right. You know your worth.
Absolutely, absolutely. And but I was on the grind at this point. You got to pay. It was kind of dues paying time, and these were the years of kind of getting the career to fit with being a family man and fit with trying to have some work-life balance.
Right.
Over the years, it was like, all right, well, I can't stay up all night no more like this.
Right.
I need to drink something besides whiskey and tequila and cognac. I need to eat something that was not wrapped up and in a bag and had standing up. Shout out to bartenders. It's like when you get in a relationship, it's so hard because
it is.
They like sit your ass down.
It is. Not to mention you got to fight that whole time difference. You're up until 2. You close at 2. You may not get home till 4 or 5. And then so there, you have to be really secure in dating a bartender because they think you're 100%. Cheating or you're messing with people.
So much. And that's another thing of being at work. Dick Gregory, one of my heroes, he talked about being a comedian in the 60s. And, it was up at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I ain't leaving there with no woman I ain't come with. I ain't taking nobody out of that audience and going nowhere to play with them. This is my job. This is how I eat.
Yes.
And I learned that. Disclaimer, everything I'm telling everyone, all right, I did not come standard, all right? I had to, the Honda Civics that had to get modded and redone. That, yeah.
You had to be upgraded to where you're at.
1,000%. 1,000%. Don't shit where you eat. Lord have mercy.
Mm-hmm.
A message to everyone. For fellas, for the males, I want to get, y'all know what I mean. For the fellas, for my cis family and whoever else it applies to, I love everybody. Treat the young lady that you work with or that you are out with like she is a valued member of your family, and it will pay soul dividends and kind of emotional currency forever. Um, the females that I know from this industry just really have changed who I am fundamentally for the better. And I was talking to one of my boys because I know Angel never will be, never was, but I'm a warrior of respect. I'll die behind treating people the right way.
Right.
Um, I said I'm gonna become a millionaire, not fucking. I'm gonna become a millionaire, keeping my shit in my pants and not presenting that everywhere. So now these young ladies know whether it's 11 a.m., 11 p.m., when they come to see me, what the vibe is.
Correct. It's
If you work
professional.
with me, when you come and sit down, you are here to work. You are here for your talents. And if anybody in this building asks you for anything else, whether they work here or not, they will leave that minute. And being able to be trusted. I'm 38 years old and growing. Being trusted around the younger people in the industry, being trusted around the younger guys in the industry, that I'm not going to take advantage of them or be mean or use them in some kind of fucked up way, because we got that too now. Just kind of being a steward for those who've come in after me.
Let's come back to, because that shows the type of manager that you are and the importance of being a good, solid manager. Sip Tipple Saver had a quick question. And I don't know if you have experience with it, or your experience may still just be able to apply across the board. But they wanted to know, how can they transition into being a beverage manager?
How can they transition into being a beverage manager? All right,
Correct.
so you do that. I got in because I was just so goddamn good. Excuse me, so good with my gift, right?
Oh, you
My
can curse the
hospitality.
second show.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm gonna just hide this from my mama. My hospitality was so overarching. It made up for a deficiency in service and organization. My marketing and my menu skills were so good, it made up for less team building and less organizational skills. My love for my team was so strong, it made up for a lack of respect of their time because of not being prepared. Now, it ain't that way in 2022, I don't believe. You got to have both.
Yeah.
If you want to be a manager in the beverage space, all of the knowledge of the bottles and everything is very important. Get your admin on. Learn how to work that Excel spreadsheet. Learn how to run a report. Learn what is measured is what improves. Learn how to take an inventory at the same time every week. And if you don't want to do those things, if you're not good at those things, guess what? Double down on what you're good at and seek collaboration. Now, that isn't easy in restaurants. There's usually one bar manager. Situations where there's more than one. Sometimes the bar manager, cocktail, whatever thing can get, whatever it can get. Let's say it's hard for you to have someone on par where you're the out front person, they're the behind books person. Get you an Instagram handle, get you a little couple of coolers and start your own thing. That's another great way. Start your own thing. Figure out a little pop-up to throw. Figure out a little catering situation. You can throw a party with 4 different bottles of spirits.
Right.
You can throw a party for about 10 to 15 people successfully and completely do a demo of what you do. That's an amazing way to get into management. But those administrative skills are what make the difference. I ain't got them. Okay. I'm good with numbers, but getting those numbers out of my head onto a paper in a way that actually humans can understand, I need some assistance with that. So I make sure to have those people around, and I double down on what I'm good at. Make sure you really want to be a beverage manager. Make sure you want to be a bar manager. Being a bar manager has very little to do with cocktails. It has to do with critiquing a cocktail. Why do we have this triple sec? There's this one is $6.99. There's one that's $4.99. They're both being made in the same place. You got to know that. Okay. Um, these 7 whiskeys that are all from MGP in Indiana. Learn what MGP is. That's a good way to become a beverage manager. Shout out to MGP. You do great work. Why do we have all of them? Which ones are similar? So that front facing stuff, whatever skills you have there, pump the brakes and get on the admin side, get on the punctuality side of things, and you will blow most bar managers out of the water, I believe.
And I'll throw in there as well, part of the management, being a good management, is people skills.
Yes.
Being able to manage your people. Yeah. One of the things you talk about, there's some managers who are some dickheads. They're real big dickheads. And they, when you are a dickhead, you will lose some really good talent. And you have to be able to be a good manager where you keep your good talent. It is hard to find good, reliable, and consistent talent. So it's very important that you also understand how to manage people as well, if I could throw that in the ring.
And you know what? So we did our nice little content. I got
you.
Now we're gonna talk.
Right.
Okay. Now we're gonna talk. What's
okay.
good? I know I talked a lot. I love this.
I liked it.
I wanted to see your face for the end of this. A pro tip for anybody doing Instagram: you got to turn this thing around if you want the brand to show up right. See, now it's back. Had to try to make that money. You know what I'm saying? But those people skills, and I had the people skills where I was good to all my people. If I messed you up over a shit, if we worked together and you had to do extra work because of me, at that split at the end of the night, it's 60-40 your way. Even if you did less hours, I'm gonna take care of you. It's gonna work. But that ain't clean. You understand what I'm saying? That's predicated on everybody being who they should, doing who they should at all times. And that can't be between you and your money. It's going to be people who not doing what they should in between. And cleaning it up and making it a little more surgically professional. Doesn't have to be cold-hearted, but it has to be, this is how we do the shifts. This is how we schedule. This is how everyone cleans. I'm the king of paying someone to do I had an army of people I paid to help me with my side work and stuff. I wasn't too good for it. I was too stressed for it. I'm playing with 3 different single source Piscos at 357 instead of getting a damn bar set up, doing some nerd shit. And I needed help. And I got that help. And it's awesome. But I really, really, really tell people that, those people skills, the hospitality skills work, but the organizational people skills and understanding that time is valuable, punctuality matters, saying what I mean and meaning what I say, being emails, all of that, man. And one thing I will tell you, I didn't become black bartender until last year because it's 2 different things. I went to Bar Convent Brooklyn, and I said I'm only going to do 5 shout outs here. The shout out game I could do 75, but I'm talking to you because of these 5 people. At Bar Convent, it was Michael Holiday, Clyde Davis Jr., Capri Robinson, and Tiffany Barrera. They did a intensive on ownership. I thought we were going to talk about, signing deeds to some shit. No, not that kind of ownership. It talked about owning your worth, owning your time, owning your soul, doing your work, that we are valuable. We are a commodity. We all bring something to the table. Clyde Davis literally said, stop being greedy. And then he said, my grandmother wasn't no sucker, and I wasn't no sucker. Those words changed my entire life. Thinking of my grandmother, right, who had a scar from here to here where she got thrown out of a vehicle when she was 14, all right? What she went through to bring me where I am, and to be working at places, subjugating myself, subordinating my character, doing things I shouldn't do, whether that be for my own fun or just getting in to fit in or going along to get along. I left my full-time job. I took a mental health break. I got a work text and started shaking. 6 got doggone kegs not being where they were supposed to be, had my grown big black ass about to cry because of work drama and a nasty little group text. I started shaking. I'm like, work my day off. worked Cinco de Mayo, which I had off and the other person didn't. And then, you know, it was some snark about some kegs, you know, just normal restaurant shit. But it was that moment I said, no, I can't live like this. Everybody around me is suffering because my past was kind of littered with shucking and jiving behavior. So I went in everywhere apologizing.
Right.
I'm apologizing in 2021 because I was late in 2010. No, it happened. You know, I have not in 2022 apologized in a business deal. I haven't done anything to be apologized for. Thank you for your patience. You know, um, Capri taught me, she's like, no is my favorite word. Can you get contact back the same day? No. Do you take a minute meeting the first time? No. Like, no. It's a procedure to get to me because
Mhm.
what valuable, and I want to give it to you the right way.
Right.
You know, the protecting of that peace is everything.
And Khalid, I could listen to you all day,
Oh,
but you
yeah,
got
yeah.
7 minutes,
Oh,
and I want to get to your book too.
oh, good gracious. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Which Lord have mercy. I got so many projects. Which book you talk about?
Well, you talked earlier about a book, and even Lonnie was like, "Oh, he got a book," and so we want to
Yes.
know what book you
So,
talk. Tell us about the books.
so two of them actually. The first one is the Spirit Thesaurus, and the Spirit Thesaurus is a handbook. You know doggone well what they're running out of right now. I don't even want to start spitting the brands, but they every week it's like these rolling outages of products, which
Yes.
still fill up in the warehouses, if you know, like I know, right? These seven cognacs have similar proof, similar procedures of being made. So the grapes are coming from some of the same vineyards in Grand Champagne. These nine whiskeys are all made in the same place. These three ryes are going to give you the same similar thing. This is your silver tequila. This is your well. This is your mid. This is your top, and this is why. Um, a way for people to learn how to stock their bars, be they at home or professionally. When you're out of X, you have that why to go to, and you know why for your guests, because so many things our guests ask us. I love y'all, but sometimes we know better because we do this.
Right.
We different. It's not worth the conversation. I need to know my shit enough. No, I got you, baby, because it's better. Da, 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 da. And they usually, our guests like our confidence. So the Spirit Thesaurus is all about arming spirit professionals with a quick and easy reference guide to selecting spirits. Well Done is something that has been just kind of a pipe head dream for years, and it's kind of just a story of being black in the service industry, you know, because how do we take our stake, right?
Well done.
Yeah. What do they say when we present ourselves?
Well done.
You know, so those are two of the projects and more coming. And I have a lot of people to try to keep my head straight because, you know, there's so much inspiration, but we got to get the execution. Ooh, look at that wine glass. Okay, I just noticed a little swirl. Yes.
I'm with it. Are those books? Are those books out yet? Lonnie says she takes her steak medium.
So they are not out yet.
Okay, so they're coming up. So you're gonna keep us abreast.
They are coming. And just follow me at Thebarrelage. You know what? This right here. How about this? I'm gonna set intention. By the end of May, I'm gonna drop a release date.
Woo!
It's out there.
Because I got it written down, so I will be buying that.
All right. You know what? Appreciate the respect. And you got a store up now, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
in there.
yeah.
I looked at the episodes. The content is like that. YouTube is like that. Everybody check in with this queen. I'm gonna get in there and support. We gotta vote with our feet and our dollars. I'm not wearing shit made by somebody I don't know. I'm not buying things by somebody I don't know when somebody I know makes it. That's how we have to operate. So that means a lot.
Yes. So tell us one more time, how can we support you? What should we be following? When are we going to see you again?
All right, so here's the deal. What you
Okay.
can support me right now is Instagram and TikTok are the main drivers. The best thing you can do for me is give feedback on the content so I can help curate it for you. That's the most valuable thing. The followers and the supporters will come when I do what I'm supposed to do. So that feedback is worth its weight in gold. My next project I just took up what I'm calling now a bar residency. I take bar residencies now for about 8 weeks. If you're in the Hartford, Connecticut area, it's a brand new Caribbean influenced restaurant, and the whole point is it's a whole kind of series of cocktails based on kind of the journey of reggae music. Um,
Ooh.
yeah, it's a whole vibe. The experimentation has been something, but I have a position working for somebody who looks like me for the first time ever, and that shit means so much.
Isn't it
So
so a whole different vibe when you walk in? You see people who look like you.
it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. And I mean, the questions I have for you, you know what? I got to get my weight up because I got to get to the point where I can interview you. So that's my other goal. Because all kind of questions for you.
I'm nobody. I'm here for you. I was intrigued this whole conversation. Like every time I talk to people, I take notes so I
Right.
can go research what you guys tell me so that I can get better and better for what I do. So
There you
I
go.
thank you so much for coming on here and just dropping so much knowledge. Like I know you felt like you talked a lot, which you did, but it was worth it because you gave so much good stuff that people, one, you had people who were very much engaged, and
That's
two, you
that
were
means
giving a lot of information for us to research and look up. So I thank you so much for everything for joining us.
thank
Final
you.
thoughts.
Final thoughts. Anyone in the business, anyone not in the business, I want everybody every single day to drink boldly something you've never heard of, eat something with some beautiful cultural history and a story, listen to music that has true roots and that inspires, get in a real conversation and think critically. That's kind of like my recipe to have a good day. Drink, eat, listen, think is the vibes at all times. Look, I sit up in my damn house looking at myself. It's a damn shame. Also, I got to. I just did. My job for the last week, I bartended virtually, right?
Ooh.
That's a whole conversation in itself. A conversation about Web3 advocacy and underserved populations. Um, the bar is going to be in that Oculus. Okay, people gonna be selling whiskey in that Oculus. There will be. I shouldn't say this. Um, think about a memorable night at the bar. That will be an NFT soon.
Mm-hmm.
Just write that down. Whoever's in here, come talk to me in 10 years. I promise you. But I did a virtual bartending gig for the last 8 nights, and I consulted for them and tried to get some sponsorship. Let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
I only shout out to Josh Davis. I feel like he's my virtual bar
Yes.
godfather. That man right there has helped build who I am. And I looked at his video and I tapped into his video on yours. And what was he talking about? I don't mess with brands who don't. All he was talking about was character and being a warrior for the right thing.
Don't be a brand hoe. Yes.
Don't be a brand hoe. I gotta be brand monogamous right now. Listen, right here, JFB, Jack from Brooklyn, Sorrel, all right? And besides the shit in the bottle, look at that.
You.
That's having Miss Champagne on the bottle. That's having at the barrel age on the bottle. That's his blog. Like,
Yes.
come on, man. Like, this
Yes.
is him, and it means so much. He came through from, and he literally just said, "When I do well, we all do well." Threw 6 bottles to me, said, "Do what you do, young man." Like, come on, it
I
means the
mean,
world
I gotta have you back. I know I'm gonna have you back again.
for sure,
Reed, I appreciate you so much for joining me today. I will
no
have
doubt.
this up sometime this week and I'll tag you in so you can check yourself out. Thank
Cool.
you again for joining me today. And thank you all for watching, for joining us. If you want to see this again, check out, it'll be on our Instagram live for the replay, and it'll definitely be on my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much, everyone. Be safe, be sound, be loved.
Much
Bye.
love. Cheers.